Okay. Welcome everyone to what I'm calling the sober stream. There's a picture of Aloy there. She's great. And what the purpose of this channel, this video in particular, is to sort of explain the process of recovery that I am going through. I'm 5 months in at the moment, approaching six. Actually, that's why I've decided to start doing this now, because it's only a few days from when I'll be 6 months clean and sober. Now, those of you who know me will know that I've struggled with alcohol abuse, other things over the years, but alcohol mainly, and it became unmanageable in the last few years, purely because it was sort of destroying relationships that I had with my family, with my wife. And actually, I needed to look for help. So about a year ago, I started getting help for this, and it's really, really had a positive effect. It took me a long time when I started looking for help to actually then give up alcohol completely. But since then, things have changed so much for the positive that I want to sort of document it from now on. So we're looking at 6 months. If I can document for the next 6 months to get to a year being clean, I'll be really, really happy. And I think that's the first goal. So if I can share on this YouTube channel, and I'll be sharing on Twitch as well, what my idea is that you can see the background. If you know this game, this is Genshin Impact, which I love, absolutely love the game. It's great. So I was thinking perhaps I will stream my daily. If you know the game, you have daily tasks to do each day to sort of just keep it ticking along. It's a service game, so the content updates really, really regularly. So if I'm thinking perhaps about documenting the recovery process daily, I'll perhaps do my Genshin dailies and just talk a bit about the recovery process, what I've been through, some of my anecdotes, in the hope that it perhaps helps other people, and perhaps that those that come and watch the channel will have a place where they can perhaps talk about difficulties that they might be going through, people might be going through. Now, you might just want to come and watch me play Genshin Impact, which is absolutely fine as well. But what you'll know is that the content perhaps will be mostly about recovery, and my personal experience is recovering from alcohol addiction, but there are many forms of addiction that people go through that actually this would be a safe space to talk about that in the chat. And yeah, perhaps it sort of where you wouldn't have that space before, you perhaps have it now. I don't know. It's early days and I don't even know if anybody will watch, but actually it's something that I want to do for myself, not just for sort of likes and acceptance on these platforms. But yeah, I'm calling it the sober stream because obviously that is what I am trying to be now. With the recovery process, what I'll perhaps try to do each day is share some of my anecdotes, because a lot of the help that I've got, it is very anecdotal, because you want to know that other people are going through the same kind of thing as you, and that you're not completely weird. But some of the things that you do whilst under that sort of addiction and influence of your illness, those things are weird. And actually talking about them and hearing yourself say them out loud is really helpful. I've always found that. So obviously I've shared them quite personally with a counsellor, but I've got to the stage now where I feel like more people could benefit from that, and I want to actually share it with more people. So as I say, what I will try and do is I'll stream each day on Twitch. I'll probably play Genshin Impact because it has daily tasks to do, and I'll do them each day anyway, so it's going to be no hardship to just flick the camera on and talk. And what it does, when I've tried to stream in the past, I've had nothing to talk about, whereas now I've got something to talk about, something to share, something that's actually meaningful. And whether people watch or not, it sort of gives me something to focus on whilst I'm playing, because when I've tried to stream in the past, I've found that I'm really poor at talking. I just play the game, and that's fine for a bit, but actually loads of people have seen this game before, and a lot of people are better at it than me. I'm no gamer, I'm no professional gamer, I just enjoy playing. And if there's something you like about the content that I create, or the games that I'm playing, then yeah, watch and enjoy, because that is the idea. If you get something out of it further than that, more to do with the recovery process, then yeah, that is all for the better. So to sort of put it in perspective, because I'm kind of making this as an introductory video, so the idea is that you'll go to the Twitch channel, you'll watch the Twitch, but the bio, the about, won't say much. It just talks about recovery, and then you'll be directed to this video, and this video will sort of explain everything that all my thoughts behind it, the thinking behind creating the channel and streaming each day. So just to put it in perspective, I always felt that what I was doing in terms of alcohol there's nothing wrong with it. And it's only through talking to other people that I've realised there was a lot wrong with it. I'm from a generation that we drank when we were young. We drank with everything, and actually most of the friends that I have always been quite big drinkers, but as we've got into a different life stage, that's become unmanageable, and I didn't really change, and I couldn't really work out why. I mean, for me, I was just normal still. That was okay. We always did that. So what's the problem with it? But when I realised what it was actually like, I was the one that was drinking. If we were in the pub where some people were having 1 or 2 drinks, I was having 5 or 6. I was always thinking about where the next drink was going to come from. So going from meals, going to family events, I'd engineer it so that I could have a drink or justify having a drink, always. And that's that sort of mental side of the illness that you go through. You're always thinking about the next drink. And what I've learned is that if I don't have a drink, if I completely abstain, that mental side of things gets easier. So there's no replacement, no 0%, no drinks that are like it, no non-alcoholic cocktails. We're not doing any of that. It's just nothing. Soft drinks, and that's it. Because that way, my brain doesn't do those mental gymnastics to make it seem okay to have a drink. And it's really important to me to not drink. Some people are okay with it. Some people can have 1 or 2 and then stop, and it's not a problem. But I don't have that in me. It's a part of the illness. It's a part of the addiction. And the day I realised that I had to stop completely and I couldn't manage it was such a weird day. I will always talk about that probably in future streams if you end up watching the Twitch channel. I'll always refer back to that day, but it was like no other. I mean, at that point I'd be going through 6 months of therapy to help, and I was still drinking. And I was told by my therapist, yeah, you can manage it if you want to, you can try. You can reduce, you can be on a reduction program. But I never really was on a reduction program. It felt like I was because I was having therapy and I was talking about it each week. Like, how much have you drunk? Have you reduced? And if I'm honest with myself, I never had. I was still engineering the situations to have a drink. I was still having 5, 6, 7, 8 drinks where people were only having 2. It wasn't right. And then my wife went away for an evening and I did what I normally do, which is because no one's looking. No one's watching me get drunk. So I was in on my own, in my house. And basically I just got so many drinks. You know, I got crate of Foster's. Other beers are available. And I drank all of them, you know, so we're talking, I think it was probably a box of 15. Drank 15 of an evening after work. And I felt like I was having a good time. Doing all the weird stuff that I would do when I was drunk. Playing a bit of computer. Taking weird photos of myself. Just strange things that I felt that was a good time, that was fun. The strange thing was that I was supposed to be going out the next day and meeting friends in London. And I woke up the next day, and I've always said I never really get hangovers, and that was part of the problem. I never really suffered the consequences of drinking because I never really got hangovers, but I do get hangovers. I get them in a different way. It's kind of like a depressive hangover. It's not like the physical effects of it. You know, I'm not vomiting and incapacitated on the sofa or anything. I can get up and do whatever I want, but my brain is absolutely messed up. But I went in and met my brother, and then we had a drink before we went to London because it was going to be a day of drinking, meeting up with old friends. And from that moment, that first point that I got to, I knew it was wrong. I knew that something had completely changed within me, and we got into London and I had a couple of drinks. I just couldn't keep the thread of the conversation. I couldn't listen. All I was thinking about was, this is wrong and I shouldn't be here. And once I'd sort of sat there for a while, been a bit polite, not really contributed to it, not really brought any value to the conversation, I just upped and left. Made my way home, and then from that point on I haven't had a drink since. Something in me gave me the ability to see that it was wrong for the first time, to see that it was unmanageable where I'd never seen it before. And yeah, I know an awful lot to that day. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much the reason why I'm starting the channel, why I'm making videos. If you want to know more about what I'm going to, make sure you follow the channel, subscribe. If you just like Genshin Impact, then follow the channel, because that's what we're doing every day, playing Genshin Impact. Like you can see in the background there, I'm a bit of a whale. I've got some really good characters, really good weapons, some high damage output. So if you like big numbers, which I do, this is the new domain where you get the Zhao artifacts. which I'm grinding at the moment. So you see a lot of that each day. I do my dailies and I use my resin. And it's going to be mostly grinding for Xiao artifacts for the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, give me your thoughts. It's an interesting thing for me to be doing, even if it's just for myself.